effective because of the DPS. Hydras, when they're so weak, but their DPS is so high that they actually make decent, and I don't do this often enough, they do decent job dropping and sniping off structures like tech structures and stargates and things like that. Now Zergling is kind of threatening the front.
I was gonna say this might be some kind of distraction. He could have moved in with those mutas, taking out some more probes, but
I'm not sure what that was there exactly. Perhaps just trying to scout for a third base, deny the third. I mean, the supply count 84 to 147. Kalix just having such a hard time getting back into this game. He's still just at 35 probes versus 64 drones, and of course we see at 12 o'clock the Zerg player has expanded once again, and he should just continue to do that all across the map.
yeah, it looks like we're having a huge Hydra drop coming. It's going to be, oh wow, this is going to spell disaster for our Protoss player. This could easily be GG. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything that Protoss can do from here. He has to spread that creep, so there. Well, I guess he doesn't have to.
Yeah, and here comes the Hydras now, and watch how quickly they take down this Stalker count. Here comes the Phoenix, though, lifting off a little bit, but the Hydras are just shredding into the Stalkers, and then the Mutas can come in if they need to and just deal any additional damage.
He's warping in some Zealots. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to clean this up. Actually, yeah, it looks like he's barely holding on.
Just barely, but the unit count shows 17 probes to 64 drones. It's probably time for Kalix to throw in the towel here at some point.
Zerg is over 100 supply on Protoss, and I mean, there's nothing really that Protoss can do from here. He's 3 bases behind, actually 2 rather. But I mean, with so many bases, Zerg can remax so fast. I mean, look, he already has his Hydra army back.
It looks like he's just going to go for a straightforward attack here right now. He's got plenty of resources too. 2,000 minerals, 800 gas lane. They get a little high, but really, he's just got a huge number of bases. Not even mining out of that 4th yet, and lots of good upgrades. Flyer attack level 2, and then the missile and melee attacks level 2 as well, going down for Shib.
Yeah, I mean.
Excuse me. More Stargates going for the Protoss as well now, and I don't know if that's the best idea either. Those Phoenix really weren't doing all that much, so going back to Phoenix really I don't think is going to make any difference at all. It looks like one final attack coming. Overlord's flying down now. We're just going to trick his opponent here. He's going to fly these Overlords into the base and probably try to fake him out, make him worried about a drop coming.
Yeah, draw those Stalkers away from the front.
Although his army's kind of out of position for this. I think he's waiting to see a third, and there just isn't a third down there. So he just really knows how far ahead he is. And actually there's a huge army here just getting ready to push in.
Yeah, Zerg is supply block, but at this point it doesn't really make that much of a difference. He's so far ahead.
Yeah, with just Stalkers, Zerglings and Hydras are the perfect counter.
Yeah, he did throw down 3 more gateways, so that could mean, he can, warp in more units that much quicker, but, I mean, at this point it's not really going to matter.
Yeah, here come the Zealots, and that's going to be the end of it. There's the GG from Kalix. And Raman, I did hear from Norm that he is back, so it would be okay if I jumped in with Norm to continue casting?
Yeah, man, I mean, thanks for letting me do this. Hopefully I can join on with you next time, or
sure.
If you guys need some help doing anything. But I'm here, man. I love these things. So
yeah, very good, Raman. Well, if Norm ends up leaving later on, we'll catch you back up with you later too. So thanks again, and I'll talk to you later on today.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks.
Take care.
You too.
All right, well, let's get Norm, guys, and we'll try to.
Hey, Moz.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Just got some errands done. Eating my lunch right now, but I'll be able to eat and cast at the same time.
Always. Any good caster can do such a thing. Laughably. Let's see. Did you say Wichigo was getting ready to play a good game here? That's.
I think Wichigo and Hemlock, and I pinged Hemlock, and he says he's going to wait.
Excellent. Well, we're good to go. So we'll just see if we get an invite once they make that game.
All right. Yeah, I'm looking at the brackets right now, and it looks pretty much what I expected. It's all very good players. Will is going to play the winner of this game, so I hope we can go this one straight into the Will game. Cryptic is waiting for possibly Shib's one of the games we watched earlier.
Yeah, Shib. We were actually just in a game with him and another and Kalix, who's another returning favorite, and Shib won that game. So him and Cryptic are going to be up, and it looks like the losers bracket's a little bit behind. We may just end up bumping people along at some point here, but we will be ready to get into that game between Wichigo just as soon as we can.
Sweet. Everyone good for the invite?
Yeah, I don't know that they're in one yet. Oh wait, I said they just got in.
So good games. The time I was gone.
Yeah, we had a couple of good games. We saw a pretty good macro game between Shib and another player, ZVT. So he did, Shib was the one who did that proxy hatchery, and he actually this time played a little more macro game, more straight up, and it was really impressive. Some pretty impressive Zerg, good creep spread, all kinds of good attacks coming from him there. Just an excellent Baneling burrow action and things like that too. So we saw some Marines get melted, which is always fun.
Nice. It's really the good hallmark of a good Zerg player. Just mixing up your strategies, never playing the same thing over and over again. A good player at all, period. Not necessarily a Zerg player.
All right, I think we are going to be ready.
PVZ on Crossfire.
I'm expecting this to be a very good game. Hemlock, an excellent Zerg. I believe you beat Hemlock in one of your first matches last tournament, but he is a high-level Zerg player in Wichigo.
Really?
An excellent Protoss.
Hemlock is a very familiar name. I didn't realize I had beaten him. Probably was a 4-gate, I think.
I think you played a pretty good game against him. It might have, I'm trying to think back. It might have.
Yeah, I don't think it was that. Was that with the? Because I remember I played Zergs on Zelnona, which I definitely 4-gate. And the one I remember most was the Metalopolis one.
Yes.
Which I started to 4-gate and I decided not to and macroed it up.
It might have been the Zalnaga Caverns when you did that. So yeah, that Scrap Station game was really, really good. Metalopolis game was fantastic as well. I went back and watched some of those games because they were just a lot of fun. And here we go now. Once again on Crossfire. We were on this map earlier on after you had left. Back to it. And or maybe you saw Crossfire as well. And this is one of the maps I think that doesn't have the lovely new features on it, but we'll make do. Once again, thanks for watching the Giantbomb Community Tournament, guys. This is the March edition. I'm Mostaka, and I'm joined once again by Norm Chan from Tested.com. Thanks, Norm, for jumping in.
No problem. Again, Crossfire, this map, we can't use Control-N. We use the new spectating tools, unfortunately, but we will have production tabs at least. So top left, 2 o'clock position is Wichigo as Protoss, and Hemlock in the bottom, 7 o'clock position as Zerg. Did you watch any of Wichigo's games?
Have not been able to get any games with him yet. He did tell me that he had a fantastic game that he felt like he should have lost against another player earlier on. He said I should probably check that replay sometime. So it sounds like he's had some intense games, and that could really come back to haunt him here because, as you may know from last month, you can really get exhausted when you're playing a lot of drawn out games going through a tournament.
Absolutely. It's one. I mean, there's so many times in Starcraft where you think you're going to lose. I mean, if you look at the army counter in the rematch, that you're outnumbered and out upgraded, but all about the micro and positioning, you can always come back.
Yeah, I had a lucky game the other day on one of the newer maps, Slag Pits, I think. Yeah, and my opponent came at me with a decent gateway army and then 3 Colossus, and he accidentally misclicked, and the 3 Colossus went up into my base and attacked an evolutionary chamber while my Hydras killed his gateway army. And then his Colossus came in seconds later, but it was too late, and he just that was him losing that game for himself there. So I watched that replay and said, "Oh man, that was close." Definitely got to be careful microing your units in StarCraft. So
yeah,
not just
sure.
a macro game.
So we have Wichigo over on the top left, building a standard block for the ramp, gateway, pylon. And then actually a fast hatchery over on Hemlock's side. I think went for 16 hatch, which does spot that as he makes his way down into the Zerg base. He's of course no whatchamacallit. There we go, spawning pool. And actually, I'm not sure if he blocked the spawning pool for just a second. He went in the path of that drone just as he was moving down, scouting. He's going to feel very safe knowing that there is no fast spawning pool. He does actually have a little probe at home, has a little sparring session with a drone, but he does get the cybernetics core down for the block. We'll want to get that drone out of there as soon as possible. He has one gas, very standard opening. Blocking the ramp is actually very interesting. I saw this. There's a thread I think on Team Liquid about the best possible positioning to block the ramp, and it seemed like you want to actually I actually do it the way what you're doing right now. We get one. It's very easy to place the first location of the first building, and the second one you just kind of align it so you have the one gap off the one side. But I think the Team Liquid thread actually said the best way was actually to get it, the gap in the middle.
Why is that? Just a lot more units to get through, or?
No. If you get it in the middle, actually, it's harder for them to snipe your blocking zealot from the low ground. Because right now, if there's a roach on the low ground and you had Overlord side, you can hit that zealot very easily. But if it was on the high ground, then it would be easier to defend it.
I see what you're saying. That's absolutely true. Because if you bring an Overlord, bring some roaches, you could pick that zealot. But if the cyber core was a little bit lower and the zealot was in between, that's clever. So do you think you're going to try doing that if you can remember?
I mean, it's one of those things you got to practice a little bit. Again, once your build orders are down and you're very comfortable with something, then it's hard to transition out of it. But I'd like to see some replays or get some more high-level theory to see what the thoughts are on that. But then what you go now, popping down 3 gateways, does look like it's going to be possibly 4 gate, getting a sentry out. This is all very standard. Seeing that second hatcher go up so quickly, it does kind of force you to want a 4 gate because you know that if you wait too long, if you don't expand yourself, the forge expand, you will fall behind.
And it looks like maybe Wichgo might be thinking of expanding himself, as you were just saying, when he saw that Zerg expand, because he's just pumping sentries out of his gateways. And typically, when I, at least as a Zerg player, when I see someone throwing sentries down, I'm thinking he's going to be trying to expand. Although a lot of Protoss players are getting clever about it and making sentries and still attacking. But here goes the Nexus now for Michigo.
You are right, yeah. There goes. Actually, I can go both ways. I usually pump out 1 or 2 sentries because sentries are so cheap. You need the extra resources for the extra gateways, for the 4 gate, and then you just pump out. You extra scout, see what if you can possibly get into the main and see if they're going to build the Roach Warren. But usually, if you know how many Zerglings are, then you just crank out a ton of locks. But having a lot of sentries is not necessarily a definite sign of a fast expand. Having a lot of sentries, I mean, Huck does it all the time, and MC does it all the time. A ton of sentries could still be for the 4 gate.
Yeah, that's the diabolical part of it. For me, I know I see those sentries and I'm thinking, oh, he's going to expand, and sometimes you'll even see them throw that Nexus down, and Wichigo could be doing some kind of delayed, like a 5 or 6 gate. That's something that's been kind of cropping up, is where you get this Nexus and maybe put down a 5th and 6th gateway. And then it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. The Aruba facility going down now. But just a decent number of sentries. And that's good to get these sentries so early. They're going to be building up a lot of energy. So whenever an engagement comes, plenty of force fields will be able to go down.
Mm-hmm. Hemlock does have 2 Zerglings over in the little staging area, the high ground over the base. We'll move in, and actually he will see that Nexus. Trying to sneak in a little bit. We'll see the probes transitioning, and he's going to have to prepare for that. He knows that it's an opportunity for him actually right now to expand again. He has a 1 spine crawler down. He's in a very good economic position right now. Over his base is actually researching carapace and what is it, speed.
Yeah, so getting those Overlords speed up. Nice job getting that lair up early. Nice job getting the Roach Warren as well. And Roach play very strong against Protoss. Especially if you were to incorporate some Infestors into that, perhaps, to do the damage to the armored units, although there's not many Stalkers now, but a lot of Protoss have Stalkers and Colossus, and the improved fungal growth would do a lot of damage there. But for now, going for Burrow as well, so we could be seeing some kind of Roach shenanigans here with Burrow and Roach movement and things like that.
Yeah, Roach Burrow movement is so powerful, and especially if Protoss doesn't have a Robo out, just has a Forge, the photon cannons are not going to be enough to scout all the way around because you have to take time to build them, and it's just not very movable. Actually, he does have the Robo out, and actually didn't see that. It was on the outside of his base, and he does have an Observer going in, and you do have Overlords from Hemlock actually scouting over. Positioning themselves, very good positioning over all the other bases, just in case, and plenty of roaches and lings at his home base. Very very safe game on both sides. It's going to be wild to sort of see what the actual tech is. And Overseer actually moving in, seeing everything in the Protoss space, and actually there's really no tech going on in the Protoss.
Yeah, and third base going down now for Hemlock at the 9 o'clock position there, and just excellent job. Look at the vision tab right now. Hemlock has excellent vision with the map. He's got both towers. He's got that Overseer, as you said, Norm, outside the base, which is taking a lot of damage, and then Overlord spotting these flanks, so he's not going to get flanked from these side ramps. And with the Xel'Naga towers, he's got extremely good vision of this map. And now hallucination being researched as well, so perhaps we'll see some hallucinated units coming out soon to scout, or just to add into the army composition, as a Robo Bay is down now as well. So we are going to see some Colossus. He could hallucinate additional Colossus to kind of throw off the